it is special. It is something that Minnesota does better than everybody else in the country. And I think more and more people are learning that.
Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah. I mean, I think this will be the 102nd state tournament this year. So, the history has a ton to do with it. And obviously, the communities have a ton to do with it. People like Corey, people like Mark, in terms of just keeping that alive, keeping that going, because it is a lot of work at the end of the day. There's a lot more that goes into it, and Corey can attest to this, than just showing up to the park, getting out the baseballs and play ball. And so a ton of credit to those people that take the time, dedicate to that. And a ton of credit to families, shout out to my wife, shout out to Corey's wife, because again, it's more than just a couple hours for a game every week. There's a lot more that goes into it. And so, we get the chance to play and have fun, but there's a lot more people behind the scenes too.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Buffalo Community Podcast. Have with us some familiar faces, guests from the past, a couple of representatives from the Buffalo Bulldogs, manager Corey Braun, pitcher John Early. Got another season coming up. 2025 should be a really fun summer of Bulldogs baseball. It continues to grow in popularity every year. And just wanted to maybe call this a hype video, a hype podcast. Let's get some people out to the ballpark. Corey, why don't you kick us off? When's the season get started, and whatever else you want to add to that amazing introduction?
Yeah, well, we got the season opener coming up here on May 28th at the end of May. Some of the guys will start trickling back in from college here, start of May, middle of May. So we'll start practicing here a little bit. But yeah, May 28th, we're kicking off our home opener and season opener that night. We got a big night planned. Buffalo Fibers sponsoring the night. They're going to have a lot going on. They're going to have free ice cream out there, a lot of games for playing bags with the kids, and a lot of different activities. So it should be a fun night.
Yeah, it's fun to see some sponsors jumping on board and kind of just making the ballpark experience, getting more people out there a little bit better every year. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, we're excited. It's we're looking forward to another fun season. We got most of our guys coming back, all but maybe two or so. So yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, John, season number 20. Is it? I don't think your microphone's on.
That's Corey requested that. So
yeah,
nobody wants to hear.
Yeah, there we go.
What's season 20? This will be season 20. So I don't know what the gift for that is. I don't know what 20 years is, but yeah, looking forward to it. Like Corey said, a lot of guys coming back, a lot of success last season, obviously. So want to keep that going, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. I know that there's not just Buffalo Fiber Night, but just some other excitement happening with the Bulldogs this year, with people jumping on board the Bulldog train. What are some of the things people can expect? Maybe highlight some other theme nights, if you will, that are coming up at the ballpark.
Yeah, we also have like July 9th, we're doing our BBA Sandlot Night. So the Buffalo Baseball Association started up kind of a T-ball coach pitch league, and so we get all those kids out there for one night and do ice cream, and all those kids get their names announced onto the field for the national anthem, and they get to stand out there with us. So a pretty cool experience for them. Then I think on our last home game of the year, I believe it's July 25th, we're going to do alumni night and try to get as many alumni. Yeah, Mark, you can show up that one night.
Yeah.
So we'll get as many alumni back as we can for that night, and kind of a send off into playoffs, hopefully. So
yeah, and to piggyback off what Corey said, we do have some scheduled youth nights, but obviously I always encourage the family to come out, kids to come out. One thing that I've loved more recently is we've just had a lot more kids come out to the ballpark. I know when I started, if a kid was at Benfield Mills for a Bulldogs game, he's probably lost. Yeah, it wasn't there intentionally.
This isn't
But-
soccer.
Yeah. So, I think we've done a really good job of kind of, cultivating that atmosphere and making it family friendly. And love to have the kids out there, find them playing wiffle ball or something on a side field. So a lot to do out there. And I know the guys enjoy it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they usually show up, they'll watch an inning and get a little bored, and then they end up just going and playing a wiffle ball game or
Yeah.
playing catch or running around at the park. So.
Yeah. Well, I think that's important to note because, if you're a parent who's maybe concerned, like, hey, like we took our kids to a Minnesota Twins game and it didn't go very well, right? Well, like, you can as a parent feel pretty good that your kids are in a safe spot, playing with other kids, being active and keep an eye on it. But, you can enjoy a game while your kids are off doing something fun and making their own memories over on a side field, like you said.
And worst case scenario, kids 12 and under are free. So
Yeah.
just show up.
You're out
If you have to leave early, no issue.
Yeah, it's easier to find a Bulldogs game to watch than it is to find a Minnesota Twins game to watch right now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I sat through a presentation. You and Rusty came in and just maybe some future plans for the field, everything. I thought it was really, really cool. So whoever put that together, I forget who.
Actually, yeah, one of our player pitchers, John Weber, actually had some background in doing the modeling and building architecture, and so yeah, he put it together.
We could probably get that over to
Yeah.
Luke. And
If I remember that, is that like on a landing page on a website or anywhere?
It's not out there in the public, but maybe Luke can throw that video up. It's kind of just a flyover of what we're trying to do, what we're trying to build out at the park, out at Benfield. So it's a new grandstand with a roof, new concession stand, new press box above our dugouts, cement all over, so we don't really have that gravel combo mix out there. So just really cleaned it up and it looked really nice.
Yeah. What I really like about it and appreciated about it is you're really building it off that, like the grassroots of like, let's actually make baseball the special thing here and build that crowd. So when it gets to the big ask of, hey, we really need this community support, hopefully it's already there and it's overwhelmingly a yes by the time it gets there versus putting the cart way before the horse and kind of fizzling out.
we've done that before. We've put the cart way before the horse. When if a kid was at the ballpark, they were lost.
Right.
And so I think just the excitement for Bulldogs baseball, the excitement for baseball like in the Wright County area in general, where we're a step or two or three behind to where, kind of it's hard not to be jealous of a Delano or a Maple Lake or a Dassel-Cato or, some of these surrounding communities that have beautiful ballparks. And I think just getting the word out to this is not just benefiting grown men who want to hang on to some baseball dreams, right? I mean, high school kids play there, community benefits from it. It's an all around like win. And
I mean, yeah, and you joked about it, but like, not everybody wants to drive to Minneapolis and go watch a Twins game and do the parking thing and stuff. And we want to create an atmosphere.
Let's not touch on parking at Benfield.
That's another story. Well, yeah, nobody wants to always do that. And we want to create an atmosphere out there that, it's fun to come out there and hang out and have a hot dog or a bulldog. I think Mark maybe created the bulldog out there.
that's my creation.
Cherry on it or something.
No.
Oh man, it'll blow your mind. But anyway.
Putting pork on a hot dog.
Nice. I like that.
So we just want to create that atmosphere out there. Let's good time, have a bag of popcorn and enjoy a baseball game for a night.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have new lights this year. Do you want to call that out? So we had brand new lights installed over the winter. So you'll have to come out to a game to see what those look like because they do have a few tricks. The ability to kind of be matched to music, different colors. So we're working on
That's pretty
what
cool.
a seventh inning stretch might look like for that. But we're excited for that. Home run trot. We were joking about it earlier, but it is true. I know outfielders will be happy to have new lights because historically Benfield's been a horrible park for night games in the outfield. I'd say we've probably been on the better end of it most of the time, but lot of lost balls in the night over the course of my career. So we're hoping those days are gone.
Yeah. Luke, do you have a hot mic over there? No.
Yeah,
Photographing the game though will under LEDs is, I mean, it's
a huge game changer. And I mean, we've had games in the past where the old lights, somebody would go into the shed, shut them off mid-game, and it takes 30 minutes for them to heat back up. And now it's, they're on and off just like a light switch. So,
yeah, it's just, it's fun to see because, we'll see the graphic of what we want Benfield to look like. But if you could see a graphic of what, Benfield looks like now compared to what it looked like 5 years ago, I mean, it does continue to improve, and that is credit to a lot of hard work that you've put in and, spent time filling in the fence and just improving the park overall, and it never, ever ends.
Yeah, we really started like inside out. So we really started on the infield, the mound, the plate, the outfield, the fence, outfield fence, and kind of worked our way out. And now we've gotten all that buttoned up with a lot of help from the city as well. Adam Farrell and his team out there have done a great job working with us and helping us out with that. And so now we're to the point where, all right, let's start making our amenities better, and doing that and getting bathrooms put out there. And I think there is a plan. The city has a plan for that in the next couple of years. So, we're moving in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, it's not just the Bulldogs that use Benfield Mills, right? It's literally the entire city, the entire Buffalo Baseball Association. And BBA has done a great job in partnering with us and helping us. And I give them a ton of credit for kind of looping us in to their world, because for a long time we were kind of just on an island and very limited funds, obviously, on our side of things. And so being able to work with them, putting on the Bulldogs camp in the winter and kind of providing, a sense of community around baseball in that way, I think has been a benefit for really everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about just, I guess, the season coming up. We touched on it a little bit, but I mean, even just as much as the Buffalo Bulldogs compete in the North Star League. North Star League is comprised of who? And, a little bit about, the season and the teams and the competition that we see.
You want to touch on that?
Sure. So North Star League, kind of the same teams for the most part that we've had historically. So obviously Buffalo, Litchfield, Dassel, Cokato. There are two different teams. Montrose,
Dassel,
and Cokato Saints, Cokato Colonels, formerly the Kingston Kings. Then there's Montrose. Delano left the North Star League this past winter, and the Hamel Hawks joined the North Star League. So we'll have a new team in the league. Hutch Huskies, Loretta Larks,
Oh, you're killing it right
Maple
now.
Lake Lakers, Howard Lake Orphans, Maple Plain Diamond Devils. Did I miss anybody?
I think you got it all.
I think I got it all.
I got to say, there's some teams that have much better names, but the Orphans?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Orphans are, they actually kind of have a cool history, because I think they got their name because at one point they didn't have a home park. And so because of that, Orphans, I think they used the old Cincinnati Reds running man logo as their mascot. But that's a little history behind that one.
Yeah. Come back next week for the history of the Hutchinson Huskies. Right? This will be a weekly thing that the more you know.
Yeah.
Exists for more. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And a little bit of history. I know you don't really like to toot your own horn, but you were manager of the year last year.
I was, yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, we won the league last year, so
again, you're backing up with some of the stats and bringing the program up, bringing the entire BBA up, the park up. So it's a great thing to go and experience. Each. Where can they find your schedule?
yeah, you can find the schedule out on Twitter or X at Buffalo Bulldogs, and then Facebook as well. So sure, Buffalo Bulldogs on Facebook.
Yeah, northstarleague.org is the league website that has the entire schedule, standings, stats, everything you need to know.
So if you're a stat head, or a baseball nerd, you go to the website and you'll get all the stats. I don't know if they get into the advanced analytics, which is disappointing.
Yeah.
But
no WAR calculation that I've seen so far.
BABIP or I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now. So
Well, but before we kind of go down, I don't know if you guys caught it, but did you hear Mark still insert himself into the Bulldogs organization when he says, "Oh, we have done that before"? Like, hey, he's still kind of living those old days. Actually, I asked him to
have a uniform.
take his uniform off before you guys got here. And I said, "Well, those look like those tight manager pants." Anything, but.
Well, like Corey mentioned, we have a alumni night this year. Obviously, Mark's an alum. And that's kind of the fun part about town ball, right? Once you're part of the team, you're always kind of part of the team in a lot of ways. And so, for me personally, I played with countless people over the years. And one thing you realize when you look back is how short that time actually is. A lot of guys, their careers are only 2-3 years long, and then they move on. And so it's kind of fun to get everyone together, and it's always nice to have Mark around.
Yeah.
Mark helps manage every once in a while. So he's around. He helps me out when I can't be there. John can't be there. He helps us out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I guess you kind of get into that town ball discussion, right? And how it is such a unique thing to Minnesota. There is town ball in Iowa, there's town ball in Wisconsin, but I mean, you talk about just what, if we branch outside the Bulldogs a little bit and get into a bigger town ball discussion, something has been done in Minnesota that has made this uniquely Minnesota. Copyright Eric Gislason, but I guess it is special. It is something that Minnesota does better than everybody else in the country, and I think more and more people are learning that.
Yeah,
every year.
Yeah, I mean, I think this will be the 102nd state tournament this year, so the history has a ton to do with it, and obviously the communities have a ton to do with it. People like Corey, people like Mark, in terms of just keeping that alive, keeping that going. Because it is a lot of work at the end of the day. There's a lot more that goes into it, and Corey can attest to this, than just showing up to the park, getting out the baseballs and play ball. And so a ton of credit to those people that take the time, dedicate to that. And a ton of credit to families, shout out to my wife, shout out to Corey's wife, because again, it's more than just a couple hours for a game every week. There's a lot more that goes into it. And so, we get the chance to play and have fun, but there's a lot more people behind the scenes too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and talk about that a little bit, Corey. Like, there may be over the course of a 12-month year, not more than, a month or two that is kind of the Bulldog stuff really kind of gets put on the shelf and isn't going to come out for maybe in 30 to 45 or 60 days. Like 12 months a year, darn near, there's something that has to be done. And what goes into putting the product on the field?
Yeah.
So that John can keep playing and never, ever leave.
I was going to make a ramp question or a ramp comment, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, we have a North Star League meeting every month, once a month. So we have that. I also go to the BBA meeting every month. We obviously do our Bulldog camp that starts up in December for a couple of Sundays in December and then 4 Sundays in January. So we're doing that over the winter. We do coaching clinics for the BBA. I know John and I were talking this morning. This Monday, we have a coaching clinic for the BBA at 6, and then him and I are going to bounce out and go to the North Star League meeting right after that. And so, there's a lot of things. And then it's getting ready for the season. When you're ramping up for that, you're working with the schedule and getting the schedule correct, and working with, this year I had Integra Print do our schedule, put some photos on there, jazz it up a little bit instead of just a plain old Word document that I used to do with clip art or whatever. So made it look really good and professional. So I didn't have to deal with that. And then, it's just dealing with some signs and some sponsorships and setting up game day experiences and making sure people are there to run the gate for us and run the concession stand, and there's just a lot that goes into it behind the scenes before the first pitch is even thrown.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
One thing I was kind of amazed, and I think I've touched on it the multiple times that we've done this, is there's a lot of passion behind it. I mean, which is, well deserved for the multi-million-dollar contracts you guys have with the Bulldogs on there. But a lot of passion, a lot of selflessness of just giving back to it. But you can definitely feel it, see it in your eyes as you start talking. I mean, about baseball. I mean, it's kind of unique of just like it's a huge chunk of your life. And again, instilling that in kids, because it's something they're going to go with, the rest of their life, of remembering their baseball coaches, their teammates and all of that. And you guys are continuing that story for,
it's awesome. I mean, I have 3 boys myself. John has a boy, and they all come out. They want to go to the park every night. Like, and when it's time to go home and mom makes them go home at 9:30 at night, they're upset about it. They want to stay, and it's great. It's fun to have them out there interacting with our guys. Our players are awesome. They sign autographs before games and sign baseballs, and the kids get to run around the bases after the game, and it's super fun to see the kids out there and enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those things. I think you get out of it what you put into it, sort of thing. And so you can take that as far as you want, right? But from my experiences, it's always been worth it. Always worth it to put in the time. As I get older, that's one thing that I try to put an emphasis on in terms of making sure our young guys have a positive experience and want to keep coming back and kind of pass that on to the next group. And then, of course, having kids myself, making sure that
You can play with them. So
maybe I won't go that far. I always joke that Archie, my son, he's going to have to get a lot better, a lot faster.
And how old is he?
He's 6.
6. Okay, and you're about to be 39 coming up.
Right. Not so hard to strike out a 6-year-old.
This is kind of like
There's no age requirements.
Yeah, no age requirements. So we might have to just get him signed one of these years just to make it happen.
Just got a little LeBron and Bronny kind of.
Yeah, stick him out in right field. Just fun for Alling.
Yeah. I guess couple, it's really good baseball.
Yeah.
High caliber baseball, good baseball players. And I don't want to put you on the spot, but I will, because you don't have to go down your whole roster. But I mean, we're talking, collegiate level baseball, either current or former players. And why don't you just shout out a few of your leaders and returning players and
a
little bit about their background, I guess.
We've been really, really lucky lately. The kids coming through the high school program and through Buffalo there's been a lot of college kids coming through. We have, Cal James played third base for St. Cloud State. Noah Christensen plays shortstop for Sioux Falls. Ethan Hansen at second base played for DCTC in the cities. Kai Brisk, Northern State first baseman. So Ramon Vega Jr., center fielder, Northern State. Our left fielder, Colton Haight, played at Crookston. He's almost 31 now, I think, 31 years old now. He was the league MVP last year. So, yeah, it's we've had an awesome group of kids coming through, and even the young guys. We have college baseball players that don't start for us sometimes, and that's a nice luxury to have, for sure.
Yeah, and I'd say, piggybacking off of that, I think you can learn a lot coming to the game, especially young kids, but if you do come out, watch a guy like Cal James, watch a guy like Colton Haight. They're great baseball players, but the way they go about their business, you can learn a ton from those guys. They are just great leaders. They lead by example, and they kind of, are kind of the heartbeat of our team in many ways. So want to give them their due.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, should be a great summer. I'm really looking forward to it. For me, my happy place is Benfield Mills on a 80-degree night, and parking might be challenging. Don't forget, there is parking available behind this as well. Yeah. We're working on it.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And, so anything else, guys, before any final message or shout outs or anything to?
I don't think so. We got our Bulldog Entertainment crew coming back. Rusty Kath behind the mic, Joey Sporney and Pat Larson out there. Pat likes to do his mid-inning dance party, so I think he'll be utilizing the light show a little bit this year with the mid-inning dance party. So
Before we wrap up, why don't you touch on what's sitting on the table right here?
Oh yeah, so we got some season passes available. They'll be at the first night there on May 28th. So $40 for a season pass and gets you a discount if you're gonna make it out to a few games. So
Cool.
Excellent.
mm-hmm.
Well, guys, thanks for coming in.
Always.
Yeah.
Should be a good summer, and that's a wrap. So for the Buffalo Community Podcast, I am Mark Benzer.
Tyler Reese.
Corey Braun.
John Early.
Thanks for listening to the Buffalo Community Podcast, produced by Edlin Media. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube, as well as anywhere you listen to podcasts.